From classics like the NES and Atari systems to the arcades of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, gaming has been around and is here to stay. But what if you want to feel that hit of nostalgia? Allow me to introduce some of my favorite retro-inspired indie games that have been released in the past year. My name is Band Shredded Cheese, and I'm a streamer and YouTuber who focuses on all things indie games. I have been gaming, reviewing, and watching the development progress of a nearly countless list of games. I wanted to take the time and combine a few that all fall under the retro or arcade category to help you find that next favorite pastime. You may not have to blow on a game cartridge before playing these next games, but we can still jump right in. Starting off strong, we have a game that not only is inspired by the classics of the gaming world, but quite literally gives them a twist. Salvager is a mashup of Tetris and Space Invaders. This game will have your head spinning as you attempt to not only shoot down hordes of enemies, but also combine blocks together to create shapes. Like many retro and arcade style games, the progression is run-based and will require you to start and inevitably lose your progress. Over time, the runs get longer, the scores get higher, and the better unlocks can be found that allow you to reach further. The combination of a roguelike shooter with the added challenge of the arcade-style puzzles created a game that was a bit of a handful to get used to, but after a few runs where I flopped around and learned the controls, I was able to have a few good solid runs that quickly turned the afternoon gaming session into an evening gaming session as well. Luckily for me, and those who find it challenging to be able to learn the mechanics of games, Salvager will guide you through the basics with the tutorial and even let you retry the tutorial stages to better master the little nuances of forming harmonic shapes, knowing what colors do what, and how to best build your ship to advance further into the game. Salvager was first released on May 9th, 2024 and is available now. The next game in this list will be familiar to those who have subscribed to the channel for a while now, and it is the first game I live streamed on this channel. Sea of Stars is a retro-inspired RPG game that brings classics like Chrono Trigger back into the modern age. Since my release day stream and review of this game, it has gone on to win awards at the Game Awards and the Golden Joystick Awards. Sea of Stars, turn-based combat, storytelling, and exploration are the tip of the iceberg for all of the modern game elements packed into one epic story. I found the gameplay to be reminiscent of my early gaming days wandering around the various regions of the Pokemon games. The different environments and story arcs in the game kept me coming back and playing this game on and off of stream. Due to this game being story-based and wanting to avoid spoilers, I will not make comments on the end of the game, but I will give credit to the leveling and combat system for never letting me get too strong or weak relative to those I was fighting. This small detail that many people won't even notice meant I never got bored or scared of the fights from start to finish. Sea of Stars may have released over a year ago on August 28th, 2023, but news of a new free DLC was recently announced, so let me know in the comments if you want me to check that out when it drops in early 2025. Moving away from the RPGs, sorta, and back into the roguelikes, Nova Drift is the next game to bring retro classics into the modern era. This game is another arcade-style shooter similar to Asteroids, but packed full of action RPG elements. There may be little tutorial for this game, but the objective is simple. Shoot alien spacecraft, upgrade your shift, shoot bigger spacecraft, rinse and repeat. What sounds like a very simple premise was upgraded from a simple arcade game to a modern bullet hell with an advanced skill tree for upgrading your ship. When I was playing this game, it took a few runs to be able to understand the different beginner abilities and upgrades. As I was starting to grasp the beginner level builds, more upgrades were unlocked, and after a single 40-minute run, I reached the end of the game. What I thought was the end of the game worried me, but turns out you just unlock an endless mode to be able to keep playing in the future. The upgrades kept coming and the runs kept getting more intense as I quickly found myself simultaneously locked into this game, but also completely zoned out to the whole world around me. By the time I set my controller down, the clock had far past midnight and left me scratching my head as to where all the time went. Nova Drift was first released in early access in March 2019 and has since been polished into the final version of this game I picked up for its full release in August of 2024. The final game on this list takes place in a time before retro and arcades even existed. Conscript throws you into the French war front of World War I. The top-down playstyle and the war-torn environment are reminiscent of the early Fallout games. However, I should mention that Conscript has a lot fewer bugs than the Fallout series is known for. Conscript is classified as a survival horror game and feels a lot like many of the top names in this category. This game blends together the punishing mechanics of horror survival games, my dislike of this type of game because I'm bad at them, and beautifully haunting pixel art into a full story and unique experience. This game has multiple endings and difficulty settings, making this game easily accessible and highly replayable for those who want to adventure through the trenches of World War I. One of the most unique elements of this game is that there's no monsters or supernatural events. This game is built around the horrors of war and doesn't need to use other horror elements to achieve its goal. I will admit, I would like this game a lot more if it wasn't for the fact I am notoriously bad at survival horror games and resource management. I am not known for being able to think through not only how to solve puzzles, but save things like medical kits simultaneously. I ended up taking well over an hour to beat Chapter 1 and get used to the mindset and playstyle that Conscript requires. But I have just turned the difficulty down to make the playthrough easier for me? Nope, it was already on the lowest setting. Conscript was released on July 23rd, 2024 and has truthfully taken this long for me to get a few of the different endings when I'm not reloading my last save for the 300th time. So this is typically when I would do my outro, and thank you all for watching, but instead I wanted to just take a minute or two and talk for a second and one, apologize for the lack of videos lately. If you haven't noticed by my background, I did move. It was about a 500-mile move, and now I have a new job and a new career, and I've been trying to focus on that, getting myself trained up and being able to properly do my real job. I wanted to let you know I am back. I am working on videos now again, finally. Part of the reason I ended up stopping making videos so regularly was the fact that I was pushing myself too hard. So a lot of the dredge videos I was making within 48 hours of... Hang on, cat wants to come in. I was making a lot of the dredge videos within like 24 to 48 hours of the content releasing, and it just was burning me out, and I became so in the mindset that all my videos had to be made that quickly. So I finally just took a step back and said, what if instead of trying to pump out videos super quickly, I spend a little more time and include multiple different games? That way I can put together all of the, arcade style games just like this video. So if there are other genres you want me to do, please feel free to let me know in the comments. The other thing I wanted to mention and quickly talk about was the fact that now that I am coming back to making the YouTube videos, I put out a poll asking about doing live streams again, and one of the things I wanted to do with those live streams is get back to those game day releases. So if there's any games you want to make sure that you can see my initial first reaction, I'll have the camera on, I'll have the full stream setup going, just like I currently have right now, rather than just recording a voiceover like I've been doing lately. It will be a lot easier for other people to interact with me, get to see kind of the way I play games and how I come to form my opinions for the reviews, as well as I can also do like challenge style runs or challenge gameplay, as well as just some other stuff. I recently did a charity stream over on Twitch, and that one went really well. It was a lot of fun, including a golf with your friends tournament. That was the first one I've ever done. So possibly bring in one of those in. Maybe next year is my annual charity stream. I do it here and include everyone. But I just wanted to thank everyone for sticking through kind of a blackout period for me and creating videos. And like I said, I wanted to reassure everyone I'm back. One other thing I wanted to mention before I end this video, I was planning on starting channel memberships. I have a handful of videos on this channel that are unlisted and private to my community in Discord. And I was planning on turning those into a perk of the channel membership. So if you do think that is something you'd want to see, kind of some of the behind the scenes, me playing around with cooking, working on my motorcycle, whenever I would travel, I make vlogs. I have another vacation coming up here within a week. I plan on vlogging the whole thing. So if you would be interested in joining a channel membership in order to be able to see that content, feel free to let me know. Honestly, I might edit this part out and make a more formal announcement and video, but I just wanted to kind of touch base and talk for a little bit about what specifically is going on and where I've been. If you have bothered to stick around this long in the video, feel free to comment down below your best pickup line or worst. Honestly, I just want to see what you guys can come up with. If they can be game related, even better. I'll see you all next time.